You've been told that cutting your calories and exercising more is the key to losing weight, but if that was true, why are you still at your heaviest weight no matter what you're trying, and you're also not seeing the scale budging? Well, if you are still following this fat loss advice that is keeping you stuck, you will never going to lose weight. So in this video, I'll explain why you should not cutting your calories so fast and also not doing so much exercise, and what you should do instead so you can finally lose the weight and keep it off and also feel more healthy and be more confident doing presentations and also talking with your clients at work. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also turn on the bell to get notified whenever I'm making a new video about weight loss advice. And I use these tips to lose 60 pounds in 8 months and kept it off for 12 years, and also helped several men and women lose the weight and keep it off, and I'm so fucking pumped to help you as well. If you're an ambitious professional working a full-time job and you've been working your face off 5-6 times at the gym and you're doing a fuckload of cardio and you're feeling so drained and you feel like you are not confident when you're talking with clients because you feel so insecure and hate how you look in the mirror, well, I think that you're doing one key mistake, and that is that when you're trying to lose weight, you have no fucking clue how your metabolism is working. Let's imagine that you listen to some dumb influencers who's telling you that you should use 500 calories or 1,000 calories to like eat for several days and trying to lose weight with that. But the problem is that if let's imagine that you have your maintenance calories at 2,000 calories, and that is where your maintenance calories, you are eating the calories you need to like have your metabolism fully functioning, and you're just eating way less than that. The problem with that is if you are having a very good metabolism and you're fucking racking your metabolism up with eating so low, you are not making sure that you are burning as much fat as efficiently, because if you're doing it this way, there's just a point where you're just not losing any more weight. So if I were you, I would definitely start out with not listening to people who never lost any weight, but listen to people who have lost the weight and kept it off for several years, because that's just way more sustainable. So let's imagine that you are 2,000 calories for your maintenance calories and you want to slightly reduce it to 200 calories or 500 calories, because the one thing you need to understand, if when you're losing weight, that you want to eat as much food as possible because you want to sustain a healthy lifestyle where you have energy to be at your work and doing the presentations, talking with clients with confidence. You don't want to be at work and just want to like throw out the towel and just want to go fucking sleep at the couch because you have no fucking energy. So you're eating as much calories in the start of your weight loss, and you have 200 calories in a deficit, and you have high protein diet where you are eating like 45% of your daily calories coming from protein, because that just helps you maintain your muscle mass. And if you are in a calorie deficit, you are just making sure that you want to not burn as much muscle but as much fat, because that's why having high protein diet helps you, but also helps you reduce the cravings when you're trying to lose weight. Because let's just be fucking honest, when I was trying to lose weight and I've just eating mostly carbs, I have so fucking many cravings. So when I was switching to a high protein diet, my cravings was almost non-existent. But it was also because I was implementing a lot of slow digestible carbs and also having more fibers into my diet. There could be 20 or 40 grams of fibers, because it just helps you stabilize your blood sugar. So that's just one key thing that you really need to remember. When you're trying to lose weight, I always recommend that you set aside like 12 weeks, because let's imagine that you are starting your weight loss journey. If I want to go back, I want to be like 200 calorie deficit and 45% of my daily calories from protein, and then I'm also having like 40% of my daily calories coming from carbs, because carbs is like God for you to have a lot of energy. Because if you have zero carbs in your diet, you're just not having a proper recovery when you're working out. Let's imagine that you're working out a lot, and you, after your workout, of course you're depleted because you just depleted all your energy levels from your glycogen stores. So if you don't fill your glycogen stores with enough carbs, you're just feeling drained and having aches and pains in your body, and you don't feel that you have so much like energy and have good mood. So having more carbs helps you with your recovery and also your mood. And fat, you just want to have it very low, because if you're having high fat in your diet, you are not getting so much food that is going to be very dense. Let's imagine that you have 2000 calories, right? And you are eating mostly high fat foodie, that is like ribeye steaks and bacon and so forth. And if you need to maintain a 2000 calorie to be in a eat 1800 calories to be in a 200 calorie deficit, and you eating all your foods already in the beginning of the day, you just don't have any more foods left to eat. So if you at the later day of, you only have like, you don't have so much food anymore because you're just eating all your calories with high dense food. That's so it just makes it very difficult for you. So that's why I always recommend that you are eating foods that's very low in fat, because if you're eating food very low in fat, you're just getting more foods that is more filling for you. Let's imagine that you are switching your high fat yogurt out with Greek yogurt that's high in protein and low in fat. So you are eating 300 grams of Greek yogurt, you're just feeling that you are way more full and you have more calories for several meals throughout the day. So that's just the diet. And in the workout part, I'll definitely recommend like 4 to 5 times a week you're working out, because working out helps you not only build muscle. The more muscle mass you have, it helps you burn a lot more fat, and also having sculpturing your body to have a lean toned muscular body, where you are sculpturing your body with having more muscle mass on the frame, so you have like a V-taper. It's more what you are seeing on the social media with hourglass figure. And you're also focusing on compound movement, 3 compound movements for every muscle groups. Let's imagine that you're working out your glutes, for example, if you're a lady. So you're just working out it could be leg press with plated weights on, and then you go to hack squat, and then you go to regular squat, for example, because you just want to focusing on having as the most difficult exercise in the beginning at the workout, where you are targeting several muscle groups. So if you're doing like hack squat, you are activating your glutes, your quads, like the front of the legs, and then you're also making sure that you are doing the rep range for 10 to 12 reps, because that's just a good rep range for you to stimulate your muscle growth. And then you always want to increase the weight for every single set, and also tracking it down with your notes, making notes. And when you've done that, you are going to isolation movements, because you just are feeling a bit more tired after you're doing the most demanding exercises. And isolation movement could be, for example, if you are working out to have bigger legs, you could, for example, do leg extensions, and then you could do single leg extension where you're just activating one muscle group. So that's just a natural way to progress, and also make sure that you have a good mind-muscle connection, because mind-muscle connection helps you actually feel the muscle being worked and you're targeting the muscle. I made the critical mistake when I was starting out that if I was trying to work out my chest, I have not focusing so much on listening to the right YouTube videos where I'm actually activating the chest area. So if you are someone who is not having any fucking clue how to work out your chest, and you are not popping up your chest like this and arching your back, you are probably just going to hit your traps, that's like the neck muscles, and that is going to grow instead, because you're not activating the upper part of your chest the correct way. And I'm guilty of that. I'm no fucking expert in regards to that. I was just someone who's been doing a lot of shit, and I'm just sharing my experience of what has been working for me to lose the 60 pounds in 8 months and kept it off for 12 years. And that's just basically the workout. And then I also want you to make sure that you're doing your cardio, like cardio that could be 4 times a week, where you are using a cross train or stationary bike, where you're doing that with a heart rate of 120 or 150, and also doing that after your workout, because you want to utilize all your energy levels for working out to break down the muscle tissues, and through building more muscle you are going to burn more fat. And then cardio is just a supplementary way for you to burn even more calories. Of course, having good stamina, if you want to perform, is also perform in the gym, is also good by doing the cardio, but you also want to keep your calories as high as possible when you're trying to work out. And then you also have the burning more cardio through the stationary bike, because there's resistance. If you're just running, there's not so much resistance and you're not burning as much calories compared to when you are using cardio machines that are resistance. And then I also want you to focusing on 6,000 steps every single day the first 2 weeks, because 6,000 steps, you can track that with, for example, an app called Step app. So by doing that, you're automatically just getting into the flow of following these procedures. So you're losing 1 to 2 pounds every single week, and you want to make sure that you're basing your diet around foods that you actually enjoy. Of course, I also have some examples of what kind of foods that you need to have in your diet, because that just helps you hit your macros. Because if you're someone who's just trying to lose weight and eating very little, 500 calories, and you're going out a lot and doing a fuckload of cardio, the physique that you're going to end up with is probably just losing all your fucking muscle mass, and you look like a stick figure, and that's not beautiful. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I just really enjoy looking at a body where you are like looking at fitness and bodybuilding, where you're sculpting your body in a beautiful way, where you have like a thin jawline, and you also have upper shoulders that's like toe muscle, and also your arms, and also a very small waist and nice glutes, thighs. It's just more visually appealing, because if you're someone, an ambitious professional trying to doing presentations, you probably need to have a very nice suit or a very nice dress, because this just accentuates the confidence that you have in yourself when you are doing presentations for your clients, so they feel that they are more convinced in your arguments. So that's just a more subtle way to show dominance in the presentation room. And the first 2 weeks, you're just doing that. You're following these procedures, and after 2 weeks, you're probably just hitting a weight loss plateau. Weight loss plateau is just your body just being accustomed to the amount of stress you're putting in. So in order to break through these weight loss plateaus, you need to adjust some things. So let's imagine that you're not losing 1 to 2 pounds anymore. You're just making sure that you are increasing your steps with 2,000 steps. You are, instead of doing 4 times of cardio, doing 5 times of cardio. If you're working out 4 times a week, you're doing 5 workout sessions. I'd love to know what is your biggest takeaway so far. Just comment below and let me know. And I also want you to make sure that you want to structuring your diet around foods that you of course enjoy, but there's also some food items that I really recommend, because if I was someone who have like my calorie deficit for being in a 200 calorie deficit is like 2,400, and I'm like 85 kilos. I'm 184 centimeters. So that's just what I've been using for so many years, and been just getting really ripped and toned by using that. So I'm getting like 250, 260 grams of protein. So what I usually do is that I'm getting like 60 or 90 grams of whey protein, that's protein powder, and then 400 grams of skim milk. That's just one shaker. I'm drinking that very fast, and that has like 90 or 100 grams of protein already. And then I'm having like 200 grams of lean chicken breast with no skin. And that is like remember, when you're trying to weigh food, it has to be in a dry state. Of course, when it comes to like chicken, it's fine if you have to meal prep. I'm always meal prepping like 2 kilos, 1 kilo of lean chicken breast and putting it into the oven, because I've just been doing that for a long time. So 100 grams of cooked chicken breast with no oil, no nothing, just salt and pepper. That's like 110 calories per 100 grams of chicken. And then you also make sure that you are weighing all the other foods. For example, 100 grams of salmon, and also can of tuna. It could be lean chicken breast, lean ground beef, 3 to 7%. And also it could be other sources of protein. It could be flank steak, it could be Greek yogurt. There's some protein sources. And For carbs, there could be a whole wheat bread, whole wheat pasta, it could be quinoa, bulgur, and also some veggies, because veggies is very low in calories and high in satiation. Definitely just means that you are not feeling so hungry and you're drinking 4 or 5 liters of water a day, because that just helps you clearing your skin. You don't have like acne, and also makes you feel more energized, more focused, and you're just feeling less hungry. So I think that's just it for me. I hope that you found value from this video. If you are someone who are at your heaviest weight right now, you tried every fucking thing about trying to lose weight, and you're really so sick of being at your heaviest weight with being so unhealthy, and you feel no confidence at the, for example, in a room when you talk with clients doing presentation, and you don't have a lean to muscular body, I would love to invite you on a call with me where we can talk, and I love to share strategies how you can lose the weight and keep it off, so you can feel more healthy, confident, and have a lot more energy to do presentations, and also just looking very lean and muscular. There's a link in the description and also in the comment section. I definitely look forward to talk with you. Bye.